Former Gateway Church lead apostolic senior pastor Jimmy Evans, who is now founder and president of XO Marriage, says he was aware that the Texas megachurch's founder, Robert Morris, had an affair in his early 20s while he was a minister, but he had no idea that the affair took advantage of a kid. I was shocked and devastated by Cindy Clemenshire's account, published this June, and I applaud her courage to come forward. First and foremost, I pray for God's comfort to surround Ms. Clemenshire, her family, and all those who know and love her. Prior to the launch of Gateway, Robert Morris shared with me that he had an affair with a woman in his early 20s. He represented that he stepped out of ministry and was fully restored. I was unaware of anything like the allegations shared until I read Ms. Clemenshire's story in the Wartburg Watch. In 2020, I resigned from Gateway Church. At that time, I formally severed all ties with Gateway after expressing my deep concern over the dishonest and toxic leadership environment created by Robert Morris and the Gateway leadership. As a result, Gateway removed all of my messages and materials from their website and store. Though my heart is heavy on this matter, I've chosen not to make a more formal statement than this, as I have no details to add. I look forward to continuing to serve you on Tipping Point with content related to biblical prophecy. Pastor Jimmy Evans. And as you guys know, I was a member of Gateway Church for about 2 years. And Gateway Church was huge at that time. It's even bigger now. That was, 10 or 11 years ago when I joined. And I was caught up in the sauce. Of course, no congregation, no ministry, nor elders are perfect. But there was something that enticed me about Gateway. Their logo is, "We're about people." I believe that's their logo, something about people. But I felt at home. There were thousands of members, visitors every single week. But with me being in a young adults group, I really felt at home. And we were striving to uphold the gospel and to be disciples of God's holy word. So, of course, I had no clue about the toxic leadership, the toxic environment, and the things of that nature, and the dishonesty, because I was not an elder, I was not a pastor, I was not a lead. So, of course, I didn't know. But if the lead pastor at that time, Robert Morris, was not being truthful over 20 or 30 years, it's no surprise or secret that the elders, the ministers, ran an organization that was toxic and that was unhealthy. Now, of course, this is hearsay. These are speculations. But for Jimmy Evans to write that, to make that statement, then where there's smoke, there's fire. So let me know what you guys think of this. And it was such courageousness, and it was such courage, I should say, of Miss Clemenshire to come forward and to continue to tell her story so that she will be healed. And so this nonsense will never happen again, especially in the church. It's time for us to stop this nonsense. It's time for us to be honest as men. It's time for us to be transparent and get help for our addictions and become more accountable, and to not omit the truth and to not tell partial truths. To be honest, to expose ourselves. That's the only way that we can heal. And I know I'm getting passionate about this because it's sickening. The facts that are now out. It's sickening that I was a member of that church, and every single Sunday or every time Robert said that he had an affair, that he wasn't truthful. He wasn't truthful saying that he was a sick, demented, twisted man and took advantage of a small kid. It is what it is. All of you Robert Morris and Gateway apologists, it is what it is. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming him. Enough is enough. We need to do better. We need to pray for everyone that's involved. We need to pray for Robert's wife, Debbie. We need to pray for his kids. We also need to pray for him. I'm not sitting up here judging him, but there's consequences. And the more of the truth that comes out, the more of the facts that come out with people that were involved in the church and leaders of the church at that time, the more that they talk about this, the more that I get angry and I get pissed off that the head pastor of a mega church was not truthful. A lot of this stuff could have been avoided. If he would have taken care of his childhood wounds, if he would have confessed at that time, all of this could have been avoided. I'm pissed. I have 2 daughters. I have a almost 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I kid you not. If something like this, God forbid, happens to my daughters and even my son, you're going to have to lock me up and throw away the key. It is what it is. It is what it is. Christian, no Christian. Believer in Jesus Christ, no believer in Jesus Christ. It is what it is. But let me get off my soapbox. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm just appalled. And the more the facts and the stories come out, the angrier I get. Please pray for me. We'll talk soon.